from Berserker's Rage,
Mhm.
but his base strength has been increased by 3, so it somewhat balances out. He gets more bonus armor from the Berserker's Rage, so when he goes into melee form, he gets 6 now instead of 3. And he slightly has longer range on the range whirling axes, which is the one that will slow them down. But
Yeah.
let's talk a little bit about why Troll this game. Troll gives you blind, and I think blind is incredibly powerful against Drow. The other thing it gives you is the battle trance. And if you battle trance the TA at a Spirit Breaker, suddenly you've got permabash potentially. You could charge the Drow from across the map and focus her down, and TA can get those extra damage auto attacks out much more quickly from Refraction. So it's not a pick EG are expecting. No idea how much OG have used it in scrims.
Yeah, I don't think anybody's expecting a troll pickup, but it's TI, it's group stages. I mean, it's a very important game for OG. 2-0ing EG. I mean, 2-0ing everybody in this group. I feel like I say this every time. They're trying to 2-0 LGD, they're trying to 2-0 Alliance, but it's very important for OG to get a win here. And for EG as well. They were sitting at 3-1, now 3-2. EG, they're looking to get back into it with this Drow pickup. Let's see if Fear can have the same time that Miracle had in the last game, as they're going to go ahead and contest the bottom rune spot. EG taking the top, and I don't think anything crazy happening so far. No kills, just a couple of wards being placed, and that's about it for the start of this game.
A relatively calm beginning. It will be Zai playing the Mirana, so a support Mirana, a 4-position Mirana. Off lane, Abaddon actually headed to the safe lane, as Universe will be taking that up, with Fear going on the Drow Ranger. So they're going to get the Bat versus Abaddon matchup. Definitely not your everyday 1v1, but PPD's found one. Disruption into Arrow, bottom side of the map. Direct hit on Fly.
And that's just the setup, the classic setup. You have to remember Shadow Demon as well as the Mirana together. Easy pick-off potential. It is the support duo. Zai is going to be up on the Mirana. It's not going to be that core Mirana for Sumail.
This is like some FY Fenrir old school Vici gaming style play.
Yeah, and they're roaming and they're looking for more. They did TP in with the CM back down bottom, and they're looking for maybe another disruption. Mid lane is some serious action. Sumail and Miracle are just duking it out. Lots of damage going between both of these heroes. And there's the disruption again down bottom. The arrow's going to come through, and No Tail's going to get caught. Not in time, Fly, to dodge that, or at least tank the arrow, and No Tail should fall here. A long duration stun from Zai's arrow. More than 5 seconds, and it's an easy pickup for Fear on that Drow Ranger. And they've gotten 2, so good start.
This has to happen. A little bit less so than in the past, because if Mirana farms enough to get an Ags, then she can stay relevant later on. But Shadow Demon Mirana as a support duo, in that entire, 10-15 minute window after the laning stage before she gets an Ags, is not going to do all that much as far as team fights go. So you need to be finding these kills.
Yeah, and it just allows Fear to, I think, have more room in this bottom lane. You're afraid to go up. You're afraid of disruption. You don't want to put yourself in a bad position if you're the supports here for OG until you find maybe a good charge or a good CM Frostbite, which they might have right now with PPD, but it's so difficult with disruption as well. They'll contest the pull. Won't be successful for the time being. Fear just continues to CS for the right now with 5 last hits. 6 up top going the way of Universe for the Abaddon. Moon is at 5 at this point. And then the mid lane is very close, an 8 versus 7. Between Sumail and Miracle.
Traditionally, this is just an auto-loss kind of matchup for Puck. The Drow it's a bit closer. It seems like Miracle, so far, struggling a little against the Drow. Obviously, as Refraction gets leveled up, he gets stronger, but Arrow on the mid lane, ooh, no vision, but it is daytime, so he had a little extra warning that was coming.
Just backing up right before the arrow's coming through. Zai's going to come in anyways, and he wants to find a kill. It doesn't have Starstorm, and look at the damage coming up from Miracle. Leapy actually is in the tree line and didn't get up to the high ground, but Miracle doesn't know this. And so Zai's going to have to eat his way through and get out. No vision there for Miracle to see that actually happening.
He can try to bait Sumail with the Refraction, but uses it pretty early to be safe. Meanwhile, bottom lane, they are moving in. Disruption came out from PPD, and No Tail forced to give up pursuit, but definitely applying pressure, and with the loss of the Mirana from this tri lane, OG do get a bit more aggressive.
Universe in that top lane, so we haven't really talked about the Abaddon too much. We haven't really talked about the Bat Rider in this matchup too much, but what do you think about, well, actually there might be some fighting down bottom. It's so hard to keep track of, but the Abaddon is interesting to me. What's the build here? Do you just go phase drum or some sort of aura item?
So the Bulba build, I'm not sure if Universe will copy it. We saw, I believe it was phase, Vlad's, and Ags was the big pickup for him.
Yes.
Abaddon Ags is just an amazing 5-man item, and especially with the Drow Ranger, it seems like a really strong choice because it makes it so hard to focus and kill her in fights, especially when you combine it with the Shadow Demon. So I would probably expect a similar build here. You can get utility items like a Force Staff potentially to help out your teammates, but being Dire side, wanting to be able to secure Roshan, Vlad seems like a core item to me.
TP in, coming from Moon, the Bat Rider. They go with the Crystal Nova. Fear's going to get charged. Arrow will come through, hits crit nicely, slows him down. There's the Whirling Axe, is not in the range, but only the melee version. And PPD getting chased. There's the bash up. Firefly Moon going deep. The disruption will come through. They'll at least get the Shadow Demon, but that's it.
But this was a pretty expensive rotation by OG. They have just left top, totally abandoned. Universe, highest CSing hero in the game, 24 CS as an abandoned.
Yeah, this is...
and Moon's not going to be back there for some time.
That's kind of impressive, honestly, but again, Universe is no stranger to having really good off lanes with heroes that probably shouldn't.
Badham has good base damage. He has a Quelling Blade, and could always just Aphotic Shield to deal with the Bat Rider Napalm, so... I think it's a surprisingly decent matchup for Badin, but hey, when it's empty, he's going to free farm, so yeah. What does Moon do? Does Moon stick around bottom?
He's really looking for another kill. Like, he's still down here. In fact, PPD might round this corner and see him. In fact, he does. And that is the real Moon. Might think it's an illusion, but they're going to go for it nonetheless. As there's the Soul Catcher. Arrow actually does hit him. I thought it was going to go through him, but Moon should fall. No, 2 poison stacks from PPD. It's not enough, not yet anyway. PPD really looking for that kill. Should get it now with the poison, and does. And then PPD falls to crit, getting the bash. So it's a 1-for-1 exchange when it's all said and done from the side of EG and OG.
And they're quad laning bottom against the tri-lane to get these kills though, and it's like 1-for-1 trades. Miracle farming well in the mid lane, Sumail's right back in the action, and still Universe like, guys, nobody here. I'm just gonna hit creeps, don't mind me.
Moon's finally going back top, but he's level 4, Universe is level 6, the net worth is about 1,000 difference, actually more than 1,000 difference right now between the two of them. Lane, Sumail, and Miracle continue to go toe-to-toe. Miracle's starting to get more room to work with leveled up refraction points and 2 points in side blades, doing some more damage to Sumail, so you have to be careful. You see this matchup continue on for a bit.
A little pressure there. Universe using an early borrowed time just to heal up in the lane. Throws a shield on himself, just runs at Moon, and has taken that point in Curse of Avernus. I really like this in 1v1s. I think less so in some of the games Bulba had, he skipped it, but he was up against more difficult lanes, and with that and with the level advantage, can just kind of run at the Bat Rider and effectively trade.
Tower is under attack.
I'm a fan of the Curse of Avernus in this particular matchup, but there's going to be a charge down bottom. PPD comes in and just...
Universe is coming! Got the shield!
To be able to chase these heroes down. It's kind of tough. Crit walks up and he might die. He'll try to keep you out now. Some good damage. There's going to be a jump in and boom, the Dream Coil gets Sumail a double kill with a waiting rift on top. Nicely done.
That was a sick rotation by Sumail. I was all excited for the Abaddons and fight impact, but he just ran in, threw a shield on himself, and Sumail did all the work.
I was not expecting the Sumail rotation, but it worked out really well.
They are charging Zai top. Arrow's going to miss. A long journey to take, and stick charges plus infused raindrops on this Mirana.
There's 2 up there now.
I don't think Zai's a possible kill.
There's 3 up here now, and yeah, the Spirit Breaker has to break off pursuit because they TP'd out the Bat Rider towards back home. He's level 6, pulls up, Windlace. Drum build might be going again for Moon.
Moon is allergic to blink daggers.
I mean, at least early on in the game. He doesn't go for that straight blink that we used to see all the time, but the drum is very good. I mean, it's always worked out for him for some reason. It's just a very strong pickup.
You also, I think it works better when you have other heroes to initiate. Troll can somewhat run in, same with TA, but mainly you just have Spirit Breaker with limited ways to break the charge. So generally when you see OG pick that, they'll pick at least one other form of initiation, which I think is what makes it work better.
When did we see the Spirit Breaker actually do some work? He is level 2 dash, but he's only level 3 currently in experience, and it's not that bad considering there's only level 4 Mirana coming out for EG on their supports, but net worth-wise, it's still looking very strong for EG, with, of course, Miracle leading the way, and his 9K players not really
EG, the tail end of that scan mod, it just saw these OG heroes as they creeped in, and they are smoked.
Yep, Fear's gonna... Now the arrow comes out, good gust on it too, but Fear is still more than likely dead. As Miracle TP's up, it did beat the battle trance, and he comes in and just chews him down with Moon helping out with the Firefly. They get the kill.
They moved their whole tri-lane top and then gave up a kill and a deny on the tower as well. That seemed like the bottom lane was going better for EG, but...
Yes. It was an awkward move. I know they wanted to take down that tier 1 tower, and they did get it done, but I feel like they needed to focus on other towers as well.
I'm also wondering if they actually noticed because it was like the very end of the scan that showed heroes, and they may have stopped paying attention. It didn't seem like they were aware there were heroes in the neighborhood.
Disruption. Moon coming in, Firefly as well. Sumail has that Dream Coil. He's got to just jaunt away, it looks like. Gets the waiting ripped off. Sumail doesn't get to the high ground. PPD gonna go down. They get the Dream Coil off. There's the Mist Coil. Here comes Universe. He's got the Aphotic Shield. Moon getting low. If that Aphotic Shield breaks, might be enough. Good stick charge, not enough to bring him down, and Moon will survive. Universe ends up falling. Sumail getting solo, finally able to jump back up to the high ground, closer to that tower.
Coming. Crit's going in deep. Sumail doesn't have an orb. There's no mana. Actually, just got the stick.
Is under attack.
And the phase shift as well, but that wouldn't have saved his life if there's no way to orb out, it looks like. They're going to be able to back up, but Fear is still split pushing bottom, putting some pressure on that tier 1 tower down there, and the rotation from PPD will be scouted with that Observer Ward from the Radiant squad. Fear is still farming up, or No-Tail rather, excuse me, and he'll just TP out as he's below half HP.
You know, Moon actually might be buying a Blink this game. 1,500 gold banked. If he wants the drums, he has them by now.
That's true.
So, or is extremely close anyway. So.
And he gets the lasso now too at level 8, which is not super early, but...
Yeah, Moon will sometimes wait until level 10, 11, or even 11, 12 to start skilling lasso.
Yep.
So this may be an adjustment. We'll have to see.
A lot of those games are usually when there is someone to break the lasso, and there is in this game with the Baden, so the Aphotic Shield coming out, the lasso obviously should be taken off, so I'm surprised he isn't waiting like usual, but maybe he just knows that getting a Blink lasso is going to be important. Maybe there's not going to be the Abaddon there to help out.
You know, I'm thinking about why did they pick Troll, and the other thing is, a lot of teams when they play against Drow, they really struggle because they just give up towers and they don't get trades, because Drow just takes towers so quickly. With Troll, the one thing you do get is Battle Trance. As far as sieging objectives goes, it's probably one of the best abilities in the game, along with, like Lycanhow, for example. It's up there, as they are hunting No-Tail. That might be part of the idea behind the Troll, is just to trade more effectively rather than just forfeiting towers for nothing.
Yeah, I mean, Battle Trance is going to be able to, when you think you might not be able to get a tower, you have the Battle Trance to help out, or even a kill.
They're going to fight mid.
They just smoked there right in front of that tower. The smoke broke immediately from Miracle and No-Tail, but they're still wrapping around with the rest of this squad, at least flying for them, ready to charge in at any moment's notice. But here comes Universe just running in. Arrow's going to split the uprights. Crit will come through. Big disruption for PPD. The Gust came out as well, and Crit still silent through Core on 2. Moon does get the last wall. Fear in trouble. Now the Starstorm, and Zai's getting focused down as well, but Sumail is going in.
Sumail's going in. Great play there by Universe, able to shield off the lasso, keeps his Drow safe, and now the arrow, a deep connection on Moon, bring the bat down too. EG, not a lineup they run often, but a lineup they apparently know how to execute quite proficiently. A 1,600 gold swing, and now perhaps a Roche.
It's so hard if you fight into this Aphotic Shield, then you're just going to take so much damage. And then Sumail comes in and keeps you right in place with the Dream Coil, and you don't want to break that coil going in. So they have to just deal with right click, they have to deal with Aphotic Shield. There's so much to deal with OG. With Battle Trance, even with Miracle, they're not able to do enough just yet. Roche is getting low. Tension might be there from OG, but I think this is going to be picked up by EG in time.
Indeed it will. You know, when Wings was running the Spirit Breaker, they were getting 2 to 4 hero charges pretty consistently. We've not seen Crit able to find too many, especially in the team fight scenario. That charge was a little ambitious because he was charging from up on the hill all the way past like 3 heroes. It was a fairly long time where EG had vision, and all you have to do is just press Disruption and select him.
Or Gust, and they did both of them. And it's just, that's the problem with the Spirit Breaker in this game. If you have vision with the Shadow Demon, you just disrupt him, and then you're fine. The charge stops, you don't take that damage, you don't get stunned. You will Moonlight Shadow down bottom, Crit might be caught. Sumail coming in with Dream Coil, might want more than just the Spirit Breaker, but the Veil is there. And look at that damage from the Starstorm and the arrow. It's more than enough as the Illusion Orb hits him as well. So the Veil from Puck, which is not that uncommon, will get them to kill. Be able to move forward and push down this bottom lane.
Well, Radiant used scan, but too late. You want mid lane. Move goes on the fly. Just gonna get smacked around by a Abaddon. That doesn't feel good.
And then the Purge, the Soul Catcher, and almost certainly Fly is dead.
Just Crystal Maiden things.
It's unfortunate.
See OG, they're trying to take advantage of the Troll split push. Also, pretty good synergy with Refraction, allowing you to pump out those high damage auto attacks more quickly. But giving up these kills is starting to dig a hole for OG. Now find themselves 1,000 gold down.
Yeah, I mean, Fear, his Dragonlance is done. He's got the Morbid Mask for the Helm of the Dominator later on down the road. And obviously with level 4 Precision Aura as well as the Marksmanship, they're starting to really dish out the damage. And so they're looking to clear up these last outer towers, these tier 2s.
My big worry for OG Mod is they are not a very strong high ground defense lineup. They have very little deep push, really only the Batrider and Crystal Nova.
And not much good team fight either. They have the CM ulti and then no like vacuum wall or big, wombo combo ability either.
And EG, I think very correctly identifying that, are going to commence an early siege 14 minutes in.
Miracle gets shredded by the Demonic Purge, Soul Catcher, and everything else along with it. Sumail uses the Dream Coil, taking a bit of damage. Running low on mana, Crit came through with the charge. There's a buyback. The CM ulti from Fly gets gusted away to some okay damage, but then getting hit from the low ground by Fear. They're earning everybody up. Universe still has that borrowed time. They'll walk in and go back to work on that tier 3 tower down in the bottom lane.
Significant damage done. That's over half the tower's health, Mott, and they show no signs of backing off. EG continued to mount their siege. Who do you lasso if you go on Drow? A, she's got Aegis. B, there's Disruption. Ideally, you get the Shadow Demon here, but then there's the Iphotic Shield to remove it with the double defensive supports and Bat as the most reliable initiator. How do you go in if you're OG?
Not sure the charge has to be there, but PPD with the Disruption, like you mentioned, the defensive supports coming up from EG is... It's easy to stop these charges, and Crit's gonna TP to the tier 2 tower mid. Look for maybe a charge from behind.
But there's a ward there. There's 2 wards there.
They see him coming. They know that he's there. Fear could gust his PPD's ready for the disruption, and they will see it. But the Lasher comes down in time. There's gonna be the silence from Crit. Deer now in trouble. Still has that Aegis though, and he's gonna get caught with a Frostbite. Down once, might go down twice. Zai gets out time.
Great disruptions from PPD to save the day. Can EG salvage this fight and turn it around?
Dust is there into Miracle, but now Moon's caught out. There's the Curse of Avernus, and the Frost Arrow slows. Miracle is now in trouble. He's gusted up, he's silenced, finally able to reuse that Refraction and turn back around. And it is going to be the Range Racks finally going down as EG get it done. Moon is just sitting there. I think he got arrowed as well. He had to buy back. Now in trouble. Shadow Poison. 2 stacks will not go down. Should stay alive and will be up and ready to go as No Tail gets caught and he'll fall. He's got buyback and he might have to use it.
This is all crumbling for OG, but Crit finds a really good charge. There's still a borrowed time. The shields come out. PPD with the disruption. The old man lays him with the arrows. Crit in a lot of trouble. EG just racking up the kills. They're all so low. Can No Tail kill anyone? Can he kill 4? Or does he get nothing? Charge interrupted. Spirit Breaker down. It's 4. 5, 6 dead, I think, with the double buyback. Wasn't for the Radiant side, but they do finally start to clean up.
That's an ultra kill for No Tail at the end of the fight. EG stay a little too long. In Universe, he doesn't have anything left to the take. They start losing out on mana. Everything is pretty much on cooldown, and No Tail just comes in and gets at least a little bit of gold after buying back.
It was a 6 for 4 when you include and the double dieback for OG.
God.
So even though, yeah, No Tail gets an ultra kill, it looks really flashy and awesome. It's still a really bad fight for OG in the end. And then on top of that, they do finally lose a tier 3 and a ranged Rex. All things considered, though, not disastrous. They got rid of the Aegis.
That could have been
They
much
didn't
worse.
lose a melee.
That could have been
but
much worse.
It still wasn't great.
And Crit, he finally got that 4-man charge done at the end of that engagement. PPD wasn't there. He was mid-cast with his Shadow Poison, so he couldn't use his Disruption. And it was finally a time for Crit to come in. He tried everything that fight. We talked about him TPing to the tier 2 mid. There is a ward there on the line of sight with that charge coming through. I like taking a different angle, but it's just not going to work when you have vision. He doesn't know that, but...
That's just great play against the Spirit Breaker by EG more than anything. That's a really unexpected angle. They didn't even get a disruption off, but Sumail did manage to phase shift the charge, which made a big difference there. So effectively, it didn't do anything.
Smoke of Deceit coming through with a couple of these heroes from EG. There's the Moonlight Shadow on top of it.
I think they smoked under that dire ward mod.
They see him coming. They're going to actually break the smoke. They're going to come through. There's the Dream Coil onto 4. The silence, the guns is there. Freezing Field still available for Fly. He's going to use it behind the tree line. Might be enough. Great disruption from PPD. And Miracle's on the run.
Sumail still moving in. He manages to hide and get away. The Moonlight Shadow is winning this fight for EG. Along with Sumail's AoE combo. Crit low, Crit dead, 4 down. No Tail, the lone survivor.
Only 1 buyback with Miracle, and that's it.
even if you buy back, you're not holding this lane. They will have to sack this melee rack,
The good news is they still have two tier 2s left, but
it just feels like more is sure to come.
I mean, there's a 10,000 network lead. This is before it's even updated after that team fight for EG. And they're going to just go straight to mid, clear out the tier 2 tower, and probably head top at some point in time in short order and finish that off as well.
Universe is going to get a Crimson Guard. I mentioned the Ags, that's Bulba's preferred item, but they're up against Troll, TA, even Spirit Breaker, a lot of right-click damage. This is a great Crimson Guard game.
Very good Crimson Guard game.
And a good end the item now game, which is what EG wants. They're closing in.
The Drow Ranger is doing it again. Sumail with some sick plays on this puck. Charge comes in from Crit, PPD on the backside. Demonic Purge will go, and here comes No Tail Silence up. The lasso is there. Good defensive disruption, but Fear is so low, and he'll die when he comes out of it. In fact, will go down. Crit low, but not low enough. Universe with an Aponic Shield blowing up. Still not able to kill No Tail. Borrow time will not do enough.
EG falling apart a bit in this fight. Mont, they've already lost 2. Do they lose more? Crit has a fresh charge relatively soon. His ultimate online. Meanwhile, on the south side, Moon manages to pick up Zion the Marana, but Sumail does get the counterplay, kills him off. Still the charge is coming. Disruptions on cooldown. They're going to lose PPD as well. That's going to be 4 down. Will they get the puck as well? Sumail? No, he's safe.
He's got very good vision, plenty of wards, sentries included, and he'll stay alive in that Radiant jungle. But OG finally getting a fight that goes their way after losing a lot. They get 3,000. It's almost a 4,000 gold exchange. It is a 4,000 gold exchange at the end of the day after that team fight is over. It was so close for EG2. The thing was that the Drow got jumped on at the beginning of that fight, and they couldn't save him in time with defensive disruption. They finally got him killed at the beginning stage of that fight. Once he goes down, you're losing a little bit of your damage there, and it's just not enough for EG to be able to bring everybody down at that point.
Miracle with an Invis rune, stalking with a Deso. He can assassinate these supports very quickly. Though, as I say that, PD does have a buckler. Looks like he's building the mech. Not as quickly as you would normally expect. Miracle is on the hunt.
They have no detection. They have sentries, but they're Moonlight Shadowed instead. Wow, they're fighting elsewhere. Fly's already dead in this fight. Crim might be next as well. OG. They just had a great fight, charging away down to the, I think, bottom lane. He'll actually make it out in time.
He timed that perfectly right as the coil ended so that the break would not interrupt his charge. Sick play there by Crit.
Yeah, they're gonna head towards bottom, push this wave in. Mid and top are pushed in pretty nicely. Top especially is up to that tier 2 tower. I think that's what Miracle has been doing, or Miracle and I think probably No Tail as well for the past couple of minutes have been putting some effort into getting that top lane pushed out, get these lanes pushed out, make this game go on a bit longer, and EG probably wait for the next Roshan before they do anything else in this game. We'll wait and see as No Tail has picked up a Yasha 2,300 gold. Despite that ultra kill, he's still not really anywhere close to some of these heroes. I mean, net worth-wise, Sumail's got 10,000. No Tail sitting at 7.4 at this point. He needs more, and Miracle can't do it all on his own right now.
In the mid lane, another smoke. OG moving out. Lanes are pretty pushed in though, and there's good vision here from EG. So with the map dark, they back away. Zai leaps in. Miracle moves forward, gets the vision, but Sumail gets off the Yules.
We go for the Dream Coil. Oh, now they get caught out by everybody in Universe. Dream Coil will come through. Sumail's still in trouble. Lasso's up on him. And we'll be able to not bring him down just yet. He gets the phase shift away. Miracle's still there looking to right-click him. Crit getting laid into with the arrows by Fear, and he brings him down. Moon actually about to go down to the Shadow Poison. Only one stack though. Miracle gets arrowed up. Point blank range from Zai. Gets
Universe is chasing. He wants a piece of Fly onto the Crystal Maiden. Still has the borrow time and the stick charges, and they isolate the Crystal Maiden. Bring her down. Zai leaps for more. 3 dead. Looking for No Tail. A back and forth bloodbath. It's time to buy back, says Crit. But already that tier 3, it's almost fallen. EG, all 5 alive. Do they keep on pushing?
I think so. They could go back for Roche. It is up now already, but Moon's so low, getting caught up with the silence. Still not enough. The arrow coming through, but it's going to fade before it hits the tier 3 tower gone. Glyph not available. EG about to finish up another set of racks. Miracle has buyback, and he's going to have to use it in will. TP's coming in. This disruption coming in as Crit was going through. Silence is up there as well. Demonic Purge. Crit going to go down, but here comes the damage coming through with the Desolator, and Moon getting chewed through, and he'll die as well.
Even the Centaur Conqueror gets involved. The old man showing off his micro skills. Next on the list is Miracle. EG looking to make this a 1-1 tie and even it up in Group A, and they will. The boys in blue hang on against the Green Dream here in Seattle. All 5 hit the deck. 46 kills in 23 minutes, 2 kills per minute. Absolute bloodbath, but EG take it. Miles from Sumail there. They keep their ambitions of an upper bracket berth.